Today we're answering the question, if my Miranda rights were not read to me after I was arrested, how does that affect my case? So this is a complicated question because there are a lot of unclear definitions here. First of all, what is an arrest? So sometimes people will be stopped and they will be placed under what the police will call an investigatory detention, or they'll say you're not under arrest, but you're detained, even though a reasonable person wouldn't feel like they're free to leave. It's kind of one of those situations where everybody kind of bends the law a little bit, at least from the government's perspective. They'll say it's not actually an arrest, it's just something, well, we just wanted to talk to you, and therefore you're not in custody. So people will think that they're in custody, even though legally they're not. The other thing that often happens is they're not being interrogated. So they may be actually arrested. They may be put in handcuffs and put in the back of a car, and the police won't read them their Miranda rights. Why not? Well, they're not asking you any questions. And those are really the two triggers that are required for Miranda. You need to be in custody, and you need to be being interrogated. It's called custodial interrogation. Those are the two requirements. If you only have one but not the other, Miranda doesn't apply. So sometimes, as I said, people will be arrested but not being questioned, so they're in custody but they're not being interrogated, or they'll be interrogated, meaning they'll be on the side of the road being asked questions, but technically they're not in custody. So it's really those two things that trigger Miranda. Well, what if those two things are happening? You're actually in custody and you're being questioned. You're not free to leave and they're asking you questions and they don't read you your Miranda rights. What then? Well, people want their case dismissed. They want to say, hey, this is a violation of my rights. I want everything that was in my case dismissed. I want all the charges dropped. The law doesn't go that far. The law just says that if they violate Miranda, that doesn't mean that everything gets dismissed or discharged. It just means that the evidence that they got in violation of Miranda, so your responses or any materials that they were able to extract from you as a result of questioning you while you're in custody without Mirandizing you, those things are not admissible. So they can't use those statements against you. There are certain exceptions to that, but generally speaking, violating Miranda means that the statements that they are extracting from you can no longer be used against you. Everything else can. So just due to the fact that they didn't read you your Miranda rights, it doesn't mean that your whole case is going to be thrown out. It's something where a lot of people call and they identify this as an issue, and we appreciate that. It's a good issue to identify because there may very well be problems here, and sometimes there are, and we're able to dive into it. Sometimes this type of question can lead to some potential police misconduct in some areas where they're violating their policy, and if we can find where they're violating policy in one area as it relates to questioning or putting somebody in custody or beginning interrogation, there may be other violations that that officer was committing as it relates to their policy, especially in things like a blood draw or a DUI stop or field sobriety test. They may be violating policy elsewhere, and that may give us an opening to find other areas in your case where we can identify issues that we can use to our advantage. So this is a quick overview on how Miranda works. If you were not read your Miranda rights, you may want to dive into this a little bit further. Our office can help you do that. We offer free case evaluations, so give us a call. We'll walk through step by step. We'll figure out what the police did. What we really want to do is sort of reverse engineer the timeline, see where this violation may have happened, see what happened after that violation to see if that material is going to be stuff that we can get thrown out of court. So it's a free case evaluation. We'll have you come in, we'll sit down, we'll piece it all together. We look forward to speaking with you soon, and thanks for watching.